Hello and welcome to Talking Scottish Property. Today we're talking Scottish Property with Charlie Innes, who is the Head of Business Development at Glenham Property. Charlie, as your role there at Glenham, helping property investors find the best buy-to-let opportunities, and bearing in mind the challenges that we've just recently spoken about to do with ADS, to do with interest rates and a whole raft of other aspects of the Scottish private rented sector legislation. How are you helping these investors navigate, and how are you kind of filtering the opportunities that come your way?
Our primary function is to ensure that our clients buy assets, opportunities that give them a strong return for their investment and mitigate their risk. That's primarily what we're looking to do here. How do we go about doing that? We obviously do a significant level of due diligence on any potential purchase. We intimately know the market. I've been doing this nearly 30 years now, I think, on the back of buy-to-let when it first appeared in the market in 1997, 98, I think. So hopefully I've learned something in that period of time. We obviously look across all markets, and we work with you guys. We've bought a number of properties from you over the years to ensure, as I said earlier, our clients are buying assets that give them best opportunity for return. You know, it's a tough old market out there. Interest rates, as you say, have had an effect. The ADS side of things has had an effect. We obviously look to negotiate very hard on behalf of our clients to secure properties at the best price. But we also source properties that maybe the majority of other people may not have. So out of the number of properties we bought this year, I would say 95% of those have been bought off market. And normally we buy at or around or even below value. I think there's a lot of chat about BMV, shall we say, on social media and amongst the so-called gurus out there. But, you know, it is possible, but it depends on the local market. And that's a whole nother conversation. But the Edinburgh market has been really strong recently. I think we are likely to see a slowdown, and I believe there is some opportunity there for landlords as well. But our job is to find those nuggets, those really good investments for our clients that our clients won't find, or may not have the time or the inclination or the knowledge to be able to go out and do that. And that's what we do. We work with our clients to find them the best opportunity that we can do to offer them a return.
What is a good opportunity? I mean, sorry to put you on the spot, but you've got two properties, say, on your desk. What makes one better than the other at this time? Are there any locations in Edinburgh particularly?
Yeah, I think location is one. We'll obviously spend a lot of time examining things like large-scale logistical improvements. The tram link in Edinburgh is a good case in point. We'll look at inward development, inward investment. My office is a 5-minute walk from One Haymarket, which is a new office development in Edinburgh. I think it's the biggest one in Edinburgh at the moment, which has already been let, I believe, in its totality. Bailey Gifford, I think, are the anchor tenant. So we'll look across the board at all sorts of different variables that are going to impact on tenant demand, obviously local rent, but also potential capital uplift, amenity. I think there was a lot of talk post-COVID about the changing landscape to work, and there was this apparent that the cities were going to reduce. Actually, urban rents are rising faster now than non-urban rents. So, you know, it's not just about a quick commute to work for people living in cities. It's about everything else. It's the amenities. It's going to the restaurants. I live in the borders in the middle of nowhere, so I have to drive to everything. But, you know, it's not just about that. It's all sorts of different things, so many different variables. And, you know, energy performance, that's something we haven't touched on yet. But you know what? That's come to top of the list the tenants are asking. So again, these are things that we look at. If a property is below a certain level in EPC, can we get it up to a decent level? What's the cost implication of that? is it worthwhile doing to offer a return to my client? So we're looking at all sorts of different things and analysing it all for our clients.
Absolutely. Gosh, yeah, there's so much to consider. EPCs you've not mentioned, but lenders are, a lot of lenders aren't lending on EPC ratings below a D, and there are a few still will lend on an E, but they're becoming less, and it's definitely something on the horizon, isn't it? Or right here, in fact. As usual, we're not got lots of time, but Ross, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah. I do, yes. I was just trying to find the right sort of minute to get in there. But other than Edinburgh, obviously, Charlie, you like to sort of invest. Stirling's an attractive city for you to invest in. What is it about Stirling in particular that you quite like?
Your capital access level is obviously significantly lower than potentially Edinburgh. It's equidistant between Edinburgh and Glasgow on the train line, so it's well placed in terms of commuting. Easy access out to outdoors, university town. So again, it's an attractive place for people to live. And the tenants enjoy it. I've invested in properties myself in Stirling, so I know the market well. But there are other areas we've been working in recently: Falkirk, Livingston. All these locations, I think, offer different things for different investors. It comes down to budget. It comes down to what the client is looking for. Are they focused on yield, on net yield? Are they focused a little bit more on potential capital uplift? Each client has a different profile, and we work really closely with our clients to work out what fits with their profile and what fits with their goals, but maybe actually help them a little bit to work out what that is as well. And to a degree, try and angle them towards making the best choice. That's what it's about. And, property is an emotive purchase, but sometimes emotions may get in the way, and we would never, ever countenance buying something that isn't an attractive place for someone to live. But the important thing an investor needs to remember is they're not living there themselves. So as long as there's a market for it and someone wants that property, that's fine. But don't put the same emotive element of it if you were living in it, because that's not the case. But I always ask the question, when I leave a property, would I live here myself? Now, I probably wouldn't live there myself now, but would I have lived there at some point in my life? If I've just left university, a one-bedroom flat in Gorgie Dalry, yes, I would, 100%. If I lived there, there's no problem.
Thank you, Charlie. There was actually a bit of jargon there that I knew what you said. There's just one. Can't remember what it was. Capital something levels, which
Capital
maybe
access.
Anyway, very, very good answer. Thank you very much, Charlie. Yeah, time-wise, we could talk about this for a long, long time about criteria, how you help your property investors find what's right for them, because everyone has different needs at that particular time. Some people are really buying for a cash flow situation that is right now, and a lot of people are buying more for retirement, which is maybe more capital growth based. So you're dead right. You have to really understand what it is that ticks those boxes. Thanks so much for your time. That is part 3 of a 3-part series, so it's the final part. But I'm sure we'll see you again here talking about Scottish property. And yeah, anybody keen to comment, please do. We'd like to hear your thoughts, and get in contact anytime. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye now, guys.
Thank you.